everyone. This is the AI-based incident analyzer workflow that we developed during AI hackathon. As you can see here, currently it is set up to trigger manually. However, we can trigger it, we can connect it with external event or schedule it. We prepared synthetic failure modes classification data and supplying to it. And also we downloaded publicly available AWS incidents, production incidents information and supplying that information here manually. However, we can retrieve this information in real time. The split out is a control structure where it will split each incident from the inputs and then kind of run the model, AI model iteratively for each incident. So this is the AI agent where we need to supply a prompt to it, and it uses the Azure OpenAI chat model and performs the task that we supplied in the prompt. So as you can see here, we have provided the prompt clearly that what to look for in the provided inputs. So from the AWS incidents, what are the key parameters to look for, and from the failure modes information, what to look for, and then what is the task, right? Analyzing the incident description and determining the relevant failure mode for it, and then choosing the appropriate category and failure type and the event that matches with the incident. And if none of those are matching, then mark it as unclassified essentially. And then we're also suggesting it an example output so that we'll get a structured output out of it. So this is the prompt. So it uses basically the AI agent. Using the prompt, it will produce the output. And the simple memory is basically to preserve the previous work so that it can reuse that knowledge for subsequent analysis tasks. And then we are aggregating the output for each incident, and then we are also supplying the scenarios information here. So basically each failure mode can be tested with failure injection experiments, those simulations, right? So we prepared synthetic data by defining some fake application IDs and then marking some test cases as failed, some test cases as passed, so that we'll see how these test cases relevant for the failure modes are mapped to the actual incidents. So we supplied that, and for the output generated from this failure modes mapping for each incident, now we are mapping tested scenarios information to it, and then basically any test case that is failed that would have a relevant defect associated with it. So that is also kind of supplied in the scenarios synthetic data. So in this, it is similar. So this AI agent takes relevant prompt, and then it maps the failure modes, mapped incident data to the defects and the test cases basically. And once that is done, then we are again supplying the resiliency and observability NFR's information, so that it'll again perform the relevant or matching NFRs to the AWS incidents. So it does the mapping here, and once that is done, we are again formatting that information into a tabular format and then kind of sending an email. Also, we are persisting those records into Snowflake, the analyzed records. So now I'll quickly execute this. And if you observe, the previous count on the table is 171 records. So it should increase after this workflow is executed. So it has done the failure modes mapping, and it has just completed the defects mapping as well. Now NFR information is being mapped. Okay. So let's look at the count. All right, so it's 181 right now. And then we should also receive an email. This is the email received. As you can see here, we have information from the AWS production incidents, also our failure modes mapping, which is category, failure type, and event, and then our defects information, which is tested, the status of tested, and then results of those test cases. Also mapping of related NFRs, although these are IDs, but we will have internally we can have some meaningful self-descriptive IDs. And then the rationale that the model used to map these failure modes to the incidents, and then also high-level recommended mitigation that model thinks would be appropriate in this case. So it'll send it in a tabular format as seen in this.